A week after the battle had finished, a week after last blood had been shed, every city in the vampire marched to the underground. They marched to honor the magins who had fallen for them. Step in step, their feet hit the ground. 1,000,000 magins had laid down their lives, so the vampires would not be taken by surprise. 1,000,000 magins had defended those pawns to their last breath. They had fought for home, they had fought for country, they had fought for Dracula, the lord of all vampires. They had warned him just in time, and so, all dressed in black, the vampires marched to the magins' hold, where they would bury their dead. All those who fell in service to their city, all who fell in service to Dracula. For vampires are not without honor, vampires are not without compassion, no matter what some may say. So they marched side by side with magins, with those creatures who had long lived underground underneath their very feet. And because of them, their capital still yet stood. For 5,000,000 had come through those tunnels aiming to take the throne room. But they had stopped them, they had made sure those tunnels had withstood their assault. They had thrown everything at the invaders. They had made sure the vampires had time to fight their own little civil war. They held the tunnel against all the odds. The magins did not fall nor falter, no matter their size. They knew those tunnels at the back of their feet. There was no one better to defend what they knew, had known for 10,000 years or more. And 1,000,000 magins had laid down their lives. They were not humans, they were not vampires, they were not werewolves, they were not vanics, they were not clouds, they were not pals. No, they were magins, one and all. And they had fallen, so Dracula's nation could yet live. And that is the honor only bestowed to creatures that are not vampiric. Never once in history has a city marched down, toe in toe, to honor those who fell in their defense. And so, 10,000,000 vampires all dressed in black honor those who had fallen in their defense, with Dracula at their head. Shame, for he had not known such a brave and resilient race lay beneath his feet. Shame, someone had died for him in his city. Shame, he could not have helped them more. And shame by the fact he had been saved by a mere 6 who had chosen to risk their lives for him and his kin. When they had rushed through the ground, shouting warning, chased by 1,000 angry enemies. He had been shamed and he vowed all those who had fallen would be honored by his hand. These were no simple soldiers who had just fallen. They were no simple machines. They were magins, they were brothers, they were sisters, they were fathers. Every one of them was someone who was important, and he would see them honored as such, and so it would be made the home of the magins fallen, and their deeds recorded, their lives well spent in the defense of a nation that had not, for the most part, had not known they had existed. And now the name magin would be held in honor, be held aloft they had held the underground until the enemies had retreated. And so, magin and vampire, both dressed in black, honored their fallen. They built their wooden tombs. The magins were buried, and never let it go said that from tavern in all vampiric lands, as the name of every magin was not held aloft, that fought and died that day. They raise a glass to the million that defended those towns. They raise a glass to all those who died. And so, step in step, vampire magin, both dressed in black, honored those who fell in the tunnels. Dracula at their head, and he said that dark day that those who fell, those who fought, both magin and vampire, would never be forgotten for the sacrifice they had made. And there was another thing he swore, by the ancient blood code, by vampiric law, there would be vengeance, there would be no mercy for those who instigated such an attack. Both magin and vampire would have their vengeance. They would pay those who had betrayed them, those who had attacked them, those who had dared tread on their soil, would pay in blood for every magin, for every vampire they had slain. And so, Lord Vlad Dracula swore vengeance. There will be blood. Vengeance will be ours. And so we ordered them, magin and vampire, dressed in black.